Hey, buddy, give me our...
Today on the Caucus, as President Obama wraps up his rural economic tour, photographer Doug Mills on the mood of the trip. Also, Michael Shear on the candidates' rides. Call it the Battle of the Buses.
The mood for the last 2 days traveling with the president has been pretty upbeat. I mean, jumping from one event to another, getting ice cream, getting popcorn. He's obviously happy to be out of Washington. You can really see it in his step. Around the White House for the last month or so, it's just been like a cloud's hanging over the building. It really felt kind of gloom and doom. And then you come out here on the road, people are talking about the jobs. Just hundreds and hundreds of people along the side of the road. 90% of what we've seen so far has been positive. And even when you roll into town and they don't realize maybe that the president made a surprise stop in their town, they come out of the woodwork.
We appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping. I want to make sure that I'm not holding up all the traffic.
We have come across, I don't know if you'd call them protesters, but you would see signs saying, Obamacare, we need more jobs, you're not doing your job. It's definitely been more positive than negative. And I think the photos that I've been taking have shown that. I've tried to do both sides.
What we stand for is limited government and a balanced budget. That's reasonable.
It doesn't sound like you're interested in listening. It sounds like you're interested.
You haven't listened either.
Out here in the heartland, he is going after the Republicans.
And my attitude is, get it done. And if they don't get it done, then we'll be running against a Congress that's not doing anything for the American people, and the choice will be very stark and will be very clear.
This bus trip feels a lot like his bus trips back in 2008. I was on the campaign then, and I saw a very upbeat senator at the time. Most of the presidential trips, you see him in a very presidential mode. A lot of speaking from behind a podium. He's wearing a suit. It's very serious stuff. Out here, he just seems like his sleeves are let down. He's not wearing a tie. You hear the same music you did in 2008. Crowds are big, supportive. There's just, definitely a different energy level.
We're behind you. We're behind you. We love you.
The 2012 presidential campaign has kicked into full gear. Well, low gear, actually. The Battle of the Buses is well underway, with each candidate trying to outdo the others with big, flashy, tricked-out motor coaches. The newest bus on the trail has the word Perry in huge letters across both sides. The Texas governor called it an awesome big old motor coach as he boarded it Monday for a 3-day swing across Iowa. And he's far from the only candidate with a bus. The picture of Herman Cain's face is as big as a bus. Mrs. Bachmann decided to go with repetition for her bus. Her last name appears 24 times, 10 on each side and twice on the front and back. Sometimes the lack of a bus can be a sign of trouble. Tim Pawlenty's bus broke down in Iowa before the straw poll, leaving him with a brown and white Winnebago. He, of course, dropped out of the contest over the weekend. And the closest thing Thaddeus McCotter, the Michigan congressman and presidential candidate, had to a bus was an ice cream van covered with cardboard posters. He came in dead last in the straw poll this weekend with just 35 votes. And finally, there's President Obama, who is using a black Secret Service bus for his 3-day rural economic tour this week. It might as well be dubbed the Intimidator.
I was driving down those little towns in my big bus, and we slowed down, and I'm standing in the front, and I'm waving.
What do all these buses have in common? None of them are open to the press. Reporters must follow along behind the bus. This was not the case in 2007, and 1999 for that matter, when Senator John McCain's Straight Talk Express was on the road.
You talked us all out.
Pardon me?
You've talked us all out.
Yeah.
All right.
For now, as the presidential candidates crisscross swing states this year, all we get is a glimpse from the outside.